into effect tonight here in Ohio. We have information on what that means for you and your family. And my partner, Jay, is anchoring from home tonight. Hi there, Jay.
Hi, Betsy. The Summer Olympics could be on hold. We're going to talk to Jim Donovan about this unprecedented action and find out if they are postponed, when they might go on.
And staying at home probably means a little more online shopping, but should you be concerned about the virus coming into your home when those packages are delivered? We'll have the latest on that. What's new starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Happy Monday, everybody, and thanks for joining us for a new version of What's New. I'm Betsy Kling, and my co-host Jay Crawford is now part of our work from home team. Many of our 3 News family members are working from home to keep everybody safe during this coronavirus pandemic. So, Jay, what's it like on the outside? How's working from home?
Well, I have to tell you, Betsy, I don't think I've ever been more impressed with any of my coworkers ever. Literally, Adam Kenyon, who handles all the tech stuff at our station, showed up at my home this morning and turned a room in my house into a television studio. And it's not just me. They've done that for Sarah and Jim Donovan and countless reporters on the 3 News team. And it is nothing short of remarkable to watch these folks do their thing. It's a little different. It's a little disjointed, and we would ask the viewers to please be patient with us as we work through the tech kinks. But so far, so good. I've just taken everything that I've done to prepare for the show at the 3 News studio and moved it here to my home. Hopefully, we can continue doing this for as long as we need this physical distancing. But so far, I think we're off to a decent start.
That's true. And you may notice some lags. There's some pauses between times as the earphones and the video try to catch up to each other. But we're just going to kind of march through it and get through it all together, aren't we?
That's it. That's all we can do.
All right. Well, let's begin with the latest information on the coronavirus. As of 2 p.m. here in the state of Ohio, there are now 442 confirmed cases and 6 people have died from the virus. Governor Mike DeWine has issued an immediate hiring freeze for state government. He's also ordering state agencies to cut unnecessary spending up to 20% for the remainder of the fiscal year and the next fiscal year. And on the world stage, the Olympics on hold. Jay and Jimmy will break that down in a minute. But first, we are now just hours away from the start of a stay-at-home order from the governor. Tiffany Tarpley explains what that means for you and how it will be enforced.
Governor DeWine is calling this an issue of life and death. So you got to imagine when this order goes into effect, even what you're seeing out here now, the little bit of activity, it is going to look noticeably different. So it starts tonight, 11:59 p.m. That is when the stay-at-home order goes into effect. According to the Ohio Department of Health's website, it's mandatory in an effort to stop gatherings of any size and closes all non-essential businesses. Now, there are reasons you are allowed to leave your home. For example, picking up groceries, prescription drugs, medical care, exercise, or to walk your dog. Now, when it comes to enforcement, that right now is unclear as police departments look for more guidance from the state. DeWine says he's not looking to see arrests and citations.
Individual police officers every day, even when there's no coronavirus, make decisions. And they make decisions about, how they enforce a law, and what they need to do. And so this will be no different. They will make those decisions.
Now, there is so much more when it comes to this stay-at-home order. It is best that you read it for yourself. We've posted that information on WKYC.com and our mobile app. It is in effect until April 6th. In downtown Cleveland, Tiffany Tarpley, 3 News.
Well, we're all experiencing this together. Definitely a new normal that we're going to have to get used to. So if you have any more questions about the stay-at-home order, you can text the word FACTS to 216-344-3300. Again, that's a text. Jay?
Well, Betsy, first up on your feed at 5, there is a report today that the 2020 Summer Olympic Games, which were to begin in late July from Tokyo, Japan, have now been postponed. A member of the International Olympic Committee has said now that Tokyo Summer Games are in a pause pattern. Most likely, they would be pushed off to a year from now, 2021. All of this, of course, because of the coronavirus pandemic. Dick Pound is a veteran member of the International Olympics Committee. He is now saying that 2021 is the most likely date. But here's the thing here. All of this is still up in the air. None of it has been decided for sure, other than the fact that it looks like there will be a postponement. Jim Donovan is live with us now. He joins us from his home. Jim, you have been to many Olympic Games. You know how rare this is. Put it into some sort of historical perspective for us, if you could.
Okay, Jay, I think the word postponement is the key thing, and according to the report, and that is a very strong source, Dick Pound has been a veteran member of the IOC committee through many, many decades. He was a champion Canadian swimmer in his athletic days, but he's been a constant, strong voice in the IOC and the doings of the IOC. But he said postponement is the key word. The Olympics have been canceled before, but they have never been postponed. And the most likely situation, as you alluded to, according to the report coming out originally from USA Today through Dick Pound, is the likely situation is that the games will be pushed one summer ahead, coming up next year instead of this July. The ball, Jay, really started to move in this direction when the numbers of the people being afflicted with the coronavirus started to rise. And of course, the death toll, unfortunately, is rising too. But then nations started saying, hey, listen, we're not going to send our athletes to the games. For instance, over the weekend, Canada said, we're not going to risk our athletes' health and well-being. We will not be sending a team to Tokyo if the games are going to be held. Australia fell in line. And the United States, though not committing to a clear-cut rule that they were not going to go, different parts of the United States Olympic team were saying they were very concerned. USA Swimming said they felt the game should be pushed to the next summer. USA Track and Field also said the same thing. So Pound went on in his report saying that you're going to notice that events are being canceled and postponed in the next days and weeks. And then finally, the determination will come that the actual Olympic Games will be put off until next summer rather than coming up with the opening ceremonies on July 24th. Jay, I know this hits home with you and your son, who is an aspiring and right on the edge of making the Olympic team. So I can only imagine what's going through his mind and your mind right now. It's a very, very emotional thing because Olympic athletes, they are timed to the dates of those Olympic Games.
Yeah, Jim, they so are. And as you know, because we've had conversations about this, when my son was just finishing college, he went from the NCAA championships directly to the Olympic trials. That was in 2016, and he was just a little too young and not quite ready to qualify for the Olympics at the 16 games, just missing the team. And really, for the last 4 years of his life, he has lived at the Olympic Training Center in California. He has dedicated every waking moment to trying to make the team in 2020. He is among the world's and, of course, the country's highest-rated long jumpers. But he's in the boat with thousands of other athletes that have timed this out. Your word timing is so crucial. You get a window to try to make this event every 4 years. He's been gearing everything that he's done for the Olympic trials, which were coming up this summer. He's in a state of flux. I talked to him by text earlier today. He was actually still going to practice out at the center in Chula Vista, California. It's my guess, even though I didn't tell him this, that this will probably be his last practice, because I can't imagine that he's going to want to continue to put his life in a hold pattern for yet another year to try to make the team in 2021. This is a huge commitment, and it's not just my son. It's thousands of athletes across the country who've had a lifelong dream of making one team. And, you know, on one hand, it is a big sacrifice, and I feel terrible for him. On the other hand, he has his health. We have our health, and it's just perhaps time to turn the page and move on to another phase of his life. He's a strong young man, and I'm sure he'll be able to do that with no problem.
You know, Jay, if the Olympics had been held, and if they are still, going to be held, but all reports are they'll be postponed, there would be 11,000 athletes descending upon Tokyo. So you can see the worry and the concern being, very, very deserved. The other thing, Jay, is concerning someone like your son. When we did not go to the Olympics in Moscow in 1980 in the Summer Olympic Games, where we decided as a nation, because of our cold relationship with the Soviet Union, we did not want to take part in their Olympic Games. To some of the athletes that were robbed of that experience, they never really got over that. I mean, and some understood Jimmy Carter, the president at the time, his ruling, but some said, you know what, that was my time, and I can certainly feel it, and I can certainly feel it through your voice and the description of your relationship through the athletic years of your son.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. In 1980, obviously, it was a much different situation. This is a life and death situation, Jim. And although it's very difficult to understand why this has to happen, again, the sacrifice that Corey will have to make ultimately is small compared to the sacrifice that many are making here. It's costing tens of thousands eventually their lives. And the whole notion here is to stay just as safe as they possibly can.
Absolutely. No doubt about it.
Jim Donovan, live from his home. Jim, I'm sure we'll see you coming up at 6 on What Matters Most with the day's sports news. Betsy?
Thank you both. Well, mail delivery is one of the few normal routines that are still happening around Northeast Ohio and beyond that really hasn't been disrupted by the coronavirus. But still, there's concerns. Is it safe to handle the mail and packages when they come to your home? Well, we sent 3 News investigator Rachel Polanski to find more.
The U.S. Postal Service says there is currently no evidence that COVID-19 is being spread through the mail, pointing to guidance from both the CDC and the World Health Organization. On the employee front, USPS tells me it is encouraging healthy behavior, including frequent hand washing, use of sanitizers, additional cleaning of workspaces, and telling sick employees to stay home. Still, a recent study published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that the virus was, quote, detectable up to 24 hours on cardboard. Though researchers said, quote, no COVID-19 cases have been linked to contact with packages. We asked the Shaker Heights family what they're doing with their packages.
I wore gloves and I opened the packages on the front doorstep. After I opened them and took the stuff out, I took them to the back and just threw them away. So I didn't bring them in the house. And then the contents of the packages I just wiped down with alcohol wipes. But this is brand new. This was as of yesterday. I mean, a few days ago, I wasn't really doing that.
As of Sunday, about 40 of the more than 630,000 USPS employees have tested positive for COVID-19. And the U.S. Postal Service has confirmed that one of those positive cases is an employee from their Beechwood, Ohio post office. Rachel Polanski, 3 News.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Well, today the National Guard started helping in food banks around Northeast Ohio. They started at the Greater Cleveland Food Bank this morning, and soon they'll make their way to Canton, which is where we find Romney Smith. Hi there, Romney.
Good evening, Betsy. Thank you so much. You know what? Everyone's got to eat. That's something that we just can't do. And I'm here at Summit Church, which is hosting the North Canton Cares Pantry. Normally, people go inside the sanctuary, shop around, and get what they need. But because of concerns over health and safety with the coronavirus, they've actually converted their parking lot to become a drive-through. And when I talk about supplies and food, I mean it. We are talking fresh produce, meats, cheeses, bread, and they're also giving away paper products, including toilet paper. And since everyone is cooped up inside, they even have decorated cupcakes so people can get a little sugar rush and have some fun. Now, earlier this afternoon, I spoke with the president of the pantry, who says they're seeing more and more people contact them asking for help. He says he's grateful to all the volunteers so they can step up and fulfill that need.
So right now, tonight, we're ready to handle over about 600 families. That's a lot for us. I've got some contingency plans in my head for larger groups and what we need to do.
Now, because the need is so great, the National Guard is in Ohio right now helping various food banks prepare. Tomorrow, they will be in Portage County at the Salvation Army to distribute more food, and on Thursday, they'll be back in the Akron, North Canton area. Now, I also want to let you guys know that even though there are food banks everywhere to help people, this specific one in North Canton says they are checking driver's licenses because there are local zip codes that they would like to help first before reaching out to others. We'll have more information on that on our web story at WKYC.com. For now, reporting live in North Canton, Romney Smith for 3 News. Betsy?
That's a demand that's certainly going to be going up, I'm sure. Thank you so much, Romney.
I really can't tell. Well, still to come, we're going to talk about pets. There's never been a better time to go down to the animal shelter. Mike Polk will tell us why this is the perfect time. Welcome back to What's New. Boy, we could all use a smile right about now, and I don't know anything that puts a smile on folks' faces more than adorable little puppies. We asked you to send your pictures of your cute little furries to us, and you did, and we have 3 of them to show you. Guinness, Mally, and I believe that is Archie. Thank you so much for sending us the pictures. They do indeed put a smile on our face. Well, there is a need for animals to be adopted. We know that, and there's a great need right now. We sent Mike Polk out to the Elyria APL, the Friendship APL out there, to take a look at some of the cute animals that need forever homes. Take a look.
Now, here's something you might not have considered. What's going on at animal shelters right now during this little national ordeal we find ourselves in? I stopped in down here at Friendship APL in Elyria to find out about an interesting new program they've got going on.
We are encouraging people that may be interested in fostering to adopt. Maybe they're not 100% ready to make a commitment, but they're home and they have nothing better to do right now. So introducing a cat or a dog that may be special needs to come into their home as part of our foster program.
All right, so walk us through this process and how people will work, how you use this room.
So this is our adoption by appointment rooms. What we can do is we can conduct an interview safely through this glass barrier, conduct that business without little or minimal contact between the people.
So they can spend a little time in here with their foster animal and then see if they hit it off. Let's take a look at these little beauties.
Probably every Humane Society right now is out there talking with their local county shelter. So we are talking with Lorain County dog wardens. We're going to be offering them the ability when they get overcrowded as a place to allow some of those animals to go when they get too crowded. You're stuck in a home alone, and you're stuck there for an indefinite period of time. You can work with it and train it and really invest and commit to that animal and probably come out the other side with a really great pet. So what we're doing is almost everything now is going through appointments. So what they're doing is we're sending them to adoptions@friendshipapl.org. You can contact us there.
Well, good luck to you. There we go. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Good luck here.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Just another reminder that every facet of our life is changing as we're in the middle of this situation. Mike wanted me to pass along that if you do want to go adopt an animal, whichever shelter you go to, just place a call to that shelter before heading down there to make sure someone is there to process the adoption and give you your furry new friend. Matt Wentz also working at home today, getting ready to deliver, hopefully, a sunny weather forecast. Man, could we use a little sunshine in our life every day. Matt, you know the deal. We give you a weather word each day that you try to meld into your forecast. I think it's appropriate today that the word is obstacle. We all have them. We're all trying to get over them each and every day. So if you can, try to fit that into your forecast.
Definitely will here, Jay. I'll tell you what, we've got brighter days ahead. I just tweeted out about the warm-up we've got coming our way here over the next 7 to 10 days. I think you're going to like it. But today, kind of a bump in the road. You can see we've got the clouds outside, obviously, cooler temperatures. That wind continues off the lake as well, so it's a little bit chillier near the lakeshore. Get used to that over the next couple of days. Anytime we turn that wind out of the north, that's what happens. But warmer temperatures already building. If you told me it was warmer in Bismarck, North Dakota right now than it is locally, yeah, you'd think something's a little amiss, and it certainly is. We had snowfall last night, 1 inch or so over towards Erie and Huron County. That is now well off the East Coast. Lingering clouds will remain in our forecast tonight, but eventually we're going to start to clear those skies out, at least partially, as we go through the day tomorrow. So you can see overnight tonight, a couple moons in there. We may have some clearing skies overnight. Temperatures dipping back into the 30s, so a cool night. But tomorrow morning, as you're out the door, not expecting any obstacles whatsoever in the forecast, as we'll have plenty of sunshine. Yeah, that's right. Plenty of sunshine mixing in as we go throughout the day. It is going to be much cooler near the lake, though. Keep that in mind. Temperatures will likely hold in the 40s. Meanwhile, inland, we get up into the 50s with some sunshine tomorrow. It will be a dry day. That's the good news, so you can get out and about. Things start to change, though, as we go into our northeast Ohio Wednesday. You can see we're introducing some showers down to the south Wednesday morning. That rain is a weak weather system that'll slide mainly over the southern half of the viewing area on Wednesday and mainly early. So if you have outdoor plans or want to get out of the house on Wednesday, the morning's going to be kind of the rough time, and then by afternoon we've got spring-like temperatures again, once again cooler near the lake, but should be a nice day. So your get outside forecast for tomorrow, I'm going to show this to you every single day to give you a rating scale. We're looking good tomorrow. I think morning, midday, afternoon, and evening will be a great day to get outside across the area. Universal Weather Direct 7-day forecast. Look at the warm-up we've got on Thursday, 62 with some rain late. This weekend turns kind of stormy with a big temperature bump, but next week looks fantastic. As of now, looks like multiple days of sunshine and spring-like temperatures. Jay, we'll send it back to you in your mahogany-smelling apartment, whereas my house smells like kitty litter around here.
Matt, thank you very much. Thank you for the sunshine, too, later in the week. As I said, we could all use a little bit of that. What's New is coming right back after this quick break. Stay with us.
You know, we keep hearing about more and more people stepping up in really big ways in order to help us take on this COVID-19 coronavirus.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time to see what you're clicking on here in Cleveland, and Stephanie Haney joins us live from her house with the latest on all of that. How you doing there, Steph?
Hey, Betsy, you know, I'm doing okay, especially with the stories that I have for you today. We keep hearing more and more about these big names that are stepping up in big ways to help take on this COVID-19 coronavirus, whether that's paying people's salaries or helping people get food. And now we can add Jimmy and Dee Haslam to that list. That's right, I'm talking about the owners of the Cleveland Browns. They are donating a total of $1.5 million to help take on this virus. $1 million will be going to the Greater Cleveland COVID-19 Relief Fund, and $500,000 will be going to the Columbus Emergency Response Fund, which of course makes sense because they are part owners of the Columbus Crew Major League Soccer team. So really stepping up in a big way, really excited about that. Now, I don't know about you though, but I do not have an extra $1.5 million lying around, but I do maybe have a couple extra dollars lying around, and that is what Saucy Brew Works here in Cleveland is banking on. The brewery has come up with a website, this is pretty cool, to let you tip workers that have been put out of work because they're having a hard time now with all these bar and restaurant closures. And the way you do that is you go to this website, clevelandtips.com. It's called the Cleveland Tip Jar. And when you go to the site, it'll offer you a random person when you first get there. If you want to donate to someone in that way, you can give them a tip with Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. You can also search by individual name or workers at a particular place if you would rather do it that way. The whole idea behind this is to help people out who are having a hard time because our service workers are put out of work at this time. Now, if you want to donate, or if you're a service worker yourself and you want to register to possibly get some of these tips sent your way, you go to clevelandtips.com in order to do that.
It sounds like a really great opportunity to help a lot of people out, Stephanie. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Well, still ahead on what's new, President Trump is expected to update the nation on what the federal government is doing to fight the coronavirus. That's coming any minute now. We're keeping an eye on it. We will bring it to you live as soon as Mr. Trump begins his remarks. Plus, our health correspondent, Monica Robbins, is talking with the experts about what's next for the coronavirus. And we put the spotlight on one of our 3 heroes, how they made their grandma's birthday super special.
How much? Oh.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to What's New. I'm Betsy Kling and my co-anchor, Jay Crawford, now part of our work from home team. And Jay, we are standing by to take the president with an update on the national response to the coronavirus. But while we're waiting, you have some happy news to share with us.
I do. One of the things we're trying to do throughout this trying time is to put a smile on folks' faces. And the way we're doing that is by taking a look at 3 heroes. And here's a story that we hope does just that. Carmi Stein, who goes by Honey, had a birthday last week. So her family surprised her by singing happy birthday from their cars. They did this outside her home in Moreland Hills. Take a listen.
Honey, 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 honey.
Certainly made me smile. I hope it put a smile on your face. She has 8 grandkids, 4 daughters. Her daughters, Michelle, said that they are usually together all of the time, but of course this is a different kind of time. This time they were determined to make her birthday special. Honey, we certainly hope you had a great birthday, and on behalf of myself and Betsy and all of us at 3 News, honey, happy birthday. We want to hear your stories of kindness, anything that you think might put a smile on our viewers' faces. If you want to nominate a 3 hero, it's easy to do. You can just use the hashtag 3heroes. send a text to 216-344-3300. You can attach a picture and a brief description of the story. Betsy?
Well, we really hope to hear more of those great stories that are out there. And what kid doesn't love to hang out the window of the car? So come on, that was pretty cool for them too, certainly. Thanks so much, Jay. We'll be back with you in just a moment. Again, we are waiting for the president's remarks. We are on standby. Also on standby, though, Russ Mitchell. He's back at the news desk. Russ, what other stories are making headlines at this hour?
Well, Betsy, good afternoon to you and good afternoon to you at home. Convicted sex offender Harvey Weinstein is reportedly in isolation battling the coronavirus. Reports say Weinstein tested positive at the New York State prison where he's serving a 23-year sentence. A jury convicted him of rape and sexual assault last month. A group is calling on the Cleveland City Council to delay tonight's vote in the Sherwin-Williams incentive package. Policy Matters Ohio says because of the coronavirus, employers are laying off workers and the city will lose a big portion of its revenue from payroll taxes, making it unwise, it believes, to approve incentives at this time. And this afternoon, tempers flared as senators wrangled over that nearly $2 trillion deal to give Americans a check in the near future. Democrats blocked a vote to advance the package. They want more assistance to go to public health workers. Negotiations do continue. As you said, Betsy, a lot of moving parts going on this afternoon. You got those negotiations going on Capitol Hill. The president expected to speak very shortly. Of course, we're going to have it all here for you when it becomes available.
We will. Thank you so much, Russ. We appreciate it. Well, we're going to keep moving on. It's time for our top talker. Our senior health correspondent, Monica Robbins, has been a much-needed level of calm for all of us in all of this. So, Monica, you've talked to an expert about what's next with the coronavirus.
Hey, Betsy. Yeah, the shelter-at-home policy made the situation very real for a lot of people. So I spoke with University Hospital's infectious disease expert, Dr. Robert Salata, about his take on what we can expect to see next. He says Ohio's response has been good, but things may change quickly in other parts of the country.
Things like calling out the National Guard, as well as building makeshift hospitals, deploying Navy ships to areas will be necessary. There has to be consideration, first of all, of more testing availability. One of the reasons we're seeing a greatly accelerating number of cases is that we have more testing available to us. And I think if you look at other countries around the world, we're way behind in that. And I think that has to be a major issue.
And, you know, while the borders between Canada and Mexico have been closed along with European flights coming in, there's still free travel through the states. And I asked him if he thinks that would change. And he does think that is likely to change, especially with the hot spots that we're seeing more and more cases. Not sure when that's going to happen, but he would not be surprised to see that actually change, you know. Not sure when, Betsy, but you never know when that could happen. Back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Monica. We'll check in with you coming up at 6 o'clock, too. Appreciate it. Jay, over to you.
Well, Betsy, it's that time again. Time to check in with what's moving the needle in Hollywood. We call it our pop break, and here's Stephanie Haney with that.
After 2 weeks in quarantine, actor Tom Hanks and singer Rita Wilson say they're feeling better. In a Facebook post, Tom made it a point to say, "Sheltering in place works." Rita, who is understandably going a little stir-crazy, is passing the time by rapping the lyrics to Naughty by Nature's Hip Hip Hooray.
I live and die for hip-hop. This is hip-hop for today. I give props to hip-hop. So hip-hop, hooray, ho.
And the group gave her performance an excellent review. The girl's got range. A get well letter Barack Obama sent to B.B. King back in 2015, just about 1 month before he died, is now for sale and expected to bring big bucks. The King of Blues granddaughter is selling the signed note on presidential letterhead for $17,500. Since we can't really celebrate birthdays in person right now, the social media tribute post is really having a moment.
Happy birthday, dearie.
Celebs like Laura Dern, Mindy Kaling, and artist Kyra Kendall shared birthday wishes for Reese Witherspoon on Sunday. Jennifer Aniston sent virtual hugs, and Kerry Washington blew online kisses in a throwback post with the birthday girl herself. And while Live with Kelly and Ryan continues with the hosts conferencing in from home, not everything is business as usual in TV land. Kelly Ripa shared a mirror selfie of her gray roots after 1 week in COVID-19 quarantine. We're with you, Kelly. We'll all be embracing our natural beauty for the foreseeable future.
Oh, Yes, we will. You know, Kelly Ripa has really kept it real with us, showing us her Botox before she went on self-quarantine. I get a little help from the highlights. Jay, I think you have an edge on us because you're already rocking the natural hair color and you look wonderful, but we'll see what we all look like on the other side of this.
Yeah, give us a couple days. One thing that's going to be interesting is, of course, now with all of the hair salons closed down, it won't be long before I, for one, start looking a little shaggy, and I'm ready for a haircut already. But just one of the many inconveniences that we're all going to have to deal with as this continues to go on. Stephanie, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Still to come on What's New, Helping Hand. Find out how a local bakery is helping a woman with breast cancer despite uncertainty over their own future. Hey, Matt, give us good weather news, please.
All right, thanks a lot, Jay. It's kind of gloomy outside now. We've had a little bit of rain around the area, but we've got warmer temperatures off to the west. We'll let you know when those arrive coming up in our next update.
All right, and we still have time for the pop quiz since it's National Puppy Day. We're asking where most people adopt their pets from a breeder, an animal shelter, a friend, or a relative. We'll have the answer to that while we wait for President Donald Trump's remarks from Washington, D.C. Stand by. All right, it is National Puppy Day, so we're asking, where do most people adopt their dogs from? From a breeder, an animal shelter, or do they get their doggies from a friend or a relative? The answer is a breeder. That comes from the American Pet Products Association that says 34% of people get their dogs from a breeder. 23% get them from a shelter. It's so sweet. Well, as we continue to social distance, many of our employees are also working from home. As a matter of fact, I am the only one in the studio. Oh, and it's story time. Matt, do you want me to do weather so you can continue reading?
No, Betsy, I really want to do weather right now. We've been reading for the last 8 days. I can read you Good Night Moon, though, if you want.
Oh, I don't think anybody would complain about that, certainly. It was nice to hear River trying to give the reading a chance, too.
Yeah, he's doing all right. He knows how to point out the kittens in the little toy house. And then after that, we've still got some learning to do. So the good news is for this little guy and everyone else's little guys and gals out there, we'll be able to get outside tomorrow. I think it'll be a good day to hit up the parks or just head outside in the backyard because we've got some sunshine in the forecast. So let's bring you our get outside forecast tomorrow. I've got us rated at an 8 as you'll be able to get out and about. Reason why we're going to have some sunshine in the forecast tomorrow, and that's something that we just didn't really get a whole lot of today across Northeast Ohio as we had that system move through that actually created a little bit of snow. We had some slushy accumulation out west in Erie and Huron County, but that's now long gone. You can see the clouds hanging on across the area. They'll be kind of hanging around tonight and I think tomorrow morning, at least early in the day, with some lingering moisture. But you can see way out to the west, that's really our next weather system as we've got a couple systems moving in. That'll be some quick movers bringing some brief chances of rain later this week. But for now, we're stuck with the cooler temperatures. We're in the 30s and low 40s, a seasonably cool evening outside, and that will lead to a cool night. Temperatures ought to get down into the lower 30s, but see the warm up off to the west. That's a sign of spring. That battle will continue this week between the warm and the cold, and that will bring us some brief periods of warming. So tonight, we'll see some slowly clearing skies, temperatures falling back into the 30s, and as we go hour by hour through that forecast with your National Design Mart forecast, you can see a little bit of clearing tomorrow morning with a cold start. But look at this. We break into some sunshine tomorrow afternoon. Keep in mind, if you're in our lakeshore counties, 'tis the season for colder temperatures. It'll be notably cooler near the lakeshore tomorrow and Wednesday as well. Meanwhile, Akron, Mansfield, Dover, New Philly, you'll be warm, at least comparatively speaking, in the 50s tomorrow with some sunshine. Our next chance of rain arrives on Wednesday morning. You can see the rain moving in from the south. This will be a very quick-moving weather system that kind of skirts Northeast Ohio. It'll bring some rain to the area mainly Wednesday morning, but by afternoon, we're back into the partial sunshine. And look at temperatures. Mid-50s ought to do it away from the lake, again, towards the lakeshore in the 40s again. But I think between tomorrow and Wednesday, we've got two pretty decent days to get out and about outside of that rain Wednesday morning. Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecast. Pretty interesting weather pattern this weekend. We bring in some rain and rumbles on Thursday night and Friday. And then Saturday, we warm things up much like we did about a week ago, where we get a surge of warmth, some showers and thunderstorms, and then temps crash on Sunday as it looks right now. And then as we go into next week, it does look like in the extended forecast, we're talking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's fantasy land at this point, but we've got a pretty decent shot at a widespread warming pattern across the eastern half of the country, and that could bring us several days of sunshine, and as of right now, some 60s, and I think that's what we all need in the forecast. Betsy?
We definitely do, definitely, and I guess River totally over the whole weather thing, so...
Yeah, I was worried he was going to click my graphics, so he's with Mama right now.
Awesome. That's a fun one when that happens for sure. Well, thank you so much, Matt. Really appreciate it. Always good to see River, certainly too. Well, it is an uncertain time for all of us, especially for those who've been facing serious health issues since before the COVID-19 crisis. But in the face of tragedy, a local business is stepping up to help a neighbor with stage 4 breast cancer, despite their future being uncertain too. Now, keep in mind, we are still waiting on the president's remarks. We'll go to those as soon as he does take the podium. But we do want to tell you that this story, a side note, was shot before social distancing measures were put into place. Lindsay Buckingham has the story.
In May of 2019, 38-year-old Patricia Yan, a mother of 5, knew something was wrong.
I had a lump and it just kept getting bigger and like soreness sometimes.
Patty says a doctor cleared her, so she went on with her normal life, getting married in October and running her cleaning business. Then, just weeks after tying the knot.
So they did the CAT scans and ultrasounds and came to find out that I had my cancer was stage 4.
In an instant, breast cancer took over Patty's thoughts.
My children?
But despite her prognosis of living just a few more years, Patty is fighting for her life.
I try not to let nothing bother me. I try to, stay focused. Try to repair the liver with fish and tuna. I don't eat no red meats.
She's going through chemo and alternative treatments like vitamin C, but the costs are adding up. That's when Mockingbird Bakery in Kent, a new business, came to the rescue selling a treat called patty cakes. They're donating half the proceeds to her.
The moment people heard about it, they started coming in and telling their friends, and then their friends have been telling their friends.
Amid a national crisis, they've raised more than $1,000 for Patty. The sale was due to end in March, but they've extended through April, even with their own profits dwindling.
She's not giving up, she's fighting, she's got a lot to live for.
It's good to see people not give up when they're forced to go through something traumatic.
Cloaked in her faith, Patty staying strong for her family.
I get up and read my devotional, my Bible, and just try to stay strong for them.
And for Mockingbird.
It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing that they've done, decided to do to help me out, to support me, to help me be here for my children.
Lindsay Buckingham, 3 News.
Well, Mockingbird Bakery says the sale will go on through April 15th. They're still open for pickup and delivery. As everybody else, you know, we can still support them. And to find out how to help their cause, you can head to WKYC.com for the link. Up next, saving lives. A local biotech company tells us how they are working on a possible treatment for one of the complications of the coronavirus. And honks for hugs coming up. It's a unique way to let those stuck inside know that they are loved.
Welcome back to What's New. Northeast Ohio, we know, is known for its number of excellent healthcare systems, but we're also a hub for biotechnology, and there's some pretty important research work that's being done right now, as you might imagine, in the fight against this coronavirus pandemic. Monica Robbins has more on that story.
As the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases continues to rise, the pressure is on to find effective treatments to help save lives. Athersys, a biotech company located right here in Cleveland, is on the forefront of some of that work as they develop a possible treatment for one of the complications of COVID-19.
For the past few years, we've been focused on developing a new medicine called Multistem that has shown promise in treating patients after they've suffered a stroke or patients with severe pulmonary distress, which is a condition known clinically as acute respiratory distress syndrome, or ARDS.
ARDS can develop from a number of illnesses, and it's one of the more concerning side effects of COVID-19.
It happens when a patient contracts a virus like influenza, or in the current outbreak, COVID-19, which infects the patients and then causes the severe inflammation response in the lungs.
Their multi-stem treatment has now been fast-tracked by the FDA after promising early results.
Our clinical data showed that when patients with ARDS were treated with multi-stem, just a single dose, mortality went way down, lung function rapidly improved, patients were able to get off the ventilator a lot faster and also out of the ICU a lot faster.
Though there's no word on when exactly the treatment could be available to the public, the company wanted to share a message of hope.
There are a lot of people that are very hard at work trying to help make things better.
Athersys says that they are very hopeful they'll be able to start a trial in the very near future. And as we know, the sooner the better. They plan to work with their partners here in the local hospital systems with pulmonary critical care capabilities. After this break, worth the watch. And it certainly is worth the watch. Spreading love and joy to those cut off physically from their loved ones. That's next.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, hello.
Well, one of the hardest things about the coronavirus has been the isolation that people feel, especially those in hospitals and nursing homes. So today's Worth the Watch is a parade of love in Avon Lake. Check it out. How about those signs, huh? Well, dozens of people took part in the Honks for Hugs car parade at the Independence Village Retirement and Assisted Living Facility. Cars decorated with inspirational messages circled the facility to let the nearly 200 residents inside know that they are not forgotten. There's a no visitation policy at Independence Village right now, as all senior centers and nursing homes are the same way. That's in order to keep the patients safe. Well, this parade allowed the community to say, We love you without putting anyone in harm's way. And there's just something about seeing your loved ones at a time like this that is such a big deal, which is one of the things that makes this so hard. So, Jay, I'm so glad I get to see you, even though you're not right here next to me in the studio.
Yeah, it is a little different, but I feel like I'm connected to you, which is the whole idea here. We're done for today. Back tomorrow at 5 o'clock. The news continues. What matters most at 6, and we're also standing by to hear President Trump's news briefing. Pushed back a little today. It's been going in the afternoon, but now pushed back to the evening. Betsy, we'll kind of see you tomorrow.
We will. Thanks so much for joining us. What matters most starts now.